Hey guys, what it is yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, I am coming through on Christmas Eve. So this is Vlogmas day number 24. Girl, I'm just getting home from work. It's like one some in the morning, and I got to go back to work a couple hours from now. So I wanted to go ahead and get a video in today. So on my break, I did start listening to Mr. Willie D. I love him. I love him. I love him. Yes, but he had a video. He was live talking about, I guess, the trial of Tory Lanez, and it was in the shooting of Meg the Stallion. Okay, so just to let y'all know, I am not a hip hop head like that. I'm an old hip hop head. So all this new generation music, I'm not really into it like that. I might know the song. I know of Meg the Stallion because that's somebody that my daughter was listening to heavy a couple of years ago. And other than that, I don't know too much. I've heard Tory Lanez's name mentioned. I probably heard his music, but girl, I don't know one rapper from the next in this era. Like basically since, let's say, maybe 2016-ish, maybe a little before. I just let go of hip hop because hip hop had lost its heart and I no longer was into it like that. So I don't follow artists to the T. Now, if you ask me anything in the 90s, girl, the 80s and the early 2000s, I could probably tell you every lyric to every song and tell you everything about every artist, when they made it, blah, 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 everything. Because I was hip hop to the core. So that's all just to tell you, I don't know nothing about now one of them, to be honest. So, but I was just listening to a little bit of Willie D's video. So basically, Tory Lanez is accused of shooting Meg the Stallion in the foot. I don't know. I didn't follow the trial. I don't know none about this trial. All I know is the law. I know the justice system. I know the system, right? That's all I know. So I don't know whatever. But what stood out to me was this a 2-week trial. Like, where they do that at? This is on the strength of famous people. It's high profile. So they're going to make sure that they arrive to justice. Like, they're not going to just trample over these people like they do us normal people. You know what I mean? So that's odd to me that a 2-week trial, my husband's trial was a half a day, and the jury deliberated maybe less than an hour, and they came back with their verdict. So they just swept him out, you know. But with him, with Tory Lanez, they're actually really giving him his 2 weeks in court, not his day in court, his 2 weeks in court. So that's different. And then the second thing that I see is that I don't know if sentencing already happened, but I'm seeing that they're saying 22 years. So I don't know if that's what he's going to be sentenced to. Of course, if he hasn't already been sentenced, because you can opt to be sentenced that day once they find you guilty, or you can have a sentencing day, which is where you can get character statements, you can get people to vouch for you. Because honestly, the people, the judges, the lawyers, prosecutors, none of them know you. These are complete strangers. They don't really know the true essence of you. They know whatever is depicted on paper about you. So it gives the family time to come together and say, no, this is really who this person is. You don't really know this person. I do. And this person would not do this, or this person would. That's the whole point of that. So I don't know if he's been sentenced yet or already sentenced, but what I'm hearing is 22 years. God dog it. And you already know, since I am the OG prison wife fighting for my husband that was wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced to 40 years, you already know I'm about to break it down and compare it. Yes, we finna to compare. So 22 years. That's crazy. So if he shot her, then I don't know. I don't know what to say. Is that worth it? That's what the question is at hand, I guess, from the chat that I was reading. Some were saying 20 years is too much. And some were saying, yeah, that's good enough because that's legitimate because he shot her. And I'm looking at, well, dang, my husband got 40 years, 40, and not a soul was shot. They got an eyewitness that just claims I seen a weapon, and that was it. A weapon was never recovered. No one hurt, shot, outed, no fingerprints recovered, no DNA recovered. Oh, and my husband got 40 years. So I'm looking at somebody. Now they convicted him of shooting her. So she definitely was shot. She has the injuries. I guess they had the weapon. And to actually be hit, and he got 20 years. So I'm doing the math. Does this equal out? 20 years? And you shot her? Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Because that's her leg, that's her foot. That could be her money. That pain. Do you know when you injure somebody how you can hurt them for the rest of their life? So that could be her whole livelihood gone. 20 years could be justified. But I'm like, dang, shot and he gets 20 years. Nobody shot. My husband get 40. You ain't even got a weapon. You ain't got no proof. But my husband get 40. And he gets 20 for actually injuring somebody. If he did or if he didn't. Right? So let's break down the 20 years. Y'all know I have been fighting for my husband for 20 years. Really 21 years. But the first year we were fighting with him on house arrest. So we're including jail time, house arrest, and prison time. It's been 21, almost 22 years. But prison, he just hit 20 years in prison and has another about 17 more years to go before he's free. So I'm like, well, dang, if you're looking at 20 years. Now, if he ain't in Florida, which I don't think he is, he's in, if I'm not mistaken, it's New York. This showing you how little I know about these folks. I don't know, but I'm just speaking on a situation. If I knew the ins and out of the case, then I can give you a little bit more. But if we speak about Florida, Florida is one of the highest states that you're going to do the most time in. So if he's in New York, I don't think New York has the 85% of your time served like Florida does. Most states, majority of the states, only a handful of states have 85%. Most states have 65. So you're really looking at, if it's not a minimum mandatory sentence that they gave him, you're looking at him doing only 65% of that 20 years or 22 years. Which 65, let's say that is about 20, I'm sorry. So 50% is about 10, maybe 12 years, right? Somewhere around there. I'm just guesstimating. So maybe 12 years. Girl, That time, I mean, I know it sounds harsh. I promise you it sounds harsh. But I've done that times two with my husband. That's gonna fly by. And you still get out and still got life left in you. You ain't they not dumping you in the grave when you get out. You didn't go in a little baby face boy and they gonna take you to the grave once you release. He still has time. That's not an undoable sentence is what I'm trying to say. And then also, I believe New York has parole. Florida don't have no parole. So whatever time they give you, you finna do day for day of that time. So in all actuality, he could be up for parole in less than that. So it ain't as bad as everybody thinks it is if he did the crime. Now, if he didn't do the crime, any day that you do for a crime you didn't do, that's a living hell because you're serving a punishment that you don't deserve, which means the person that actually deserves that punishment is getting off scot-free. So I don't know. I feel like because in a crime, honestly, they don't care if you're innocent or guilty. So if you're just the name pulled out the hat, it's just I think he's still lucked up for shooting her. If he did, he's still lucked up and walked away pretty decent. Because honestly, they've given out life for a lot less than that. A lot less than that. Anyways, with that said, it's late. Maybe I'll research this a little bit more and I can give you some better answers. But I'm just kind of getting the general story and I'm just giving you the way the system works behind it. I think he got a decent deal. Honestly, what I said was if he did it, he should have took the plea. I'm telling you, I even wrote a song about that. Is if you now, this is not legal. Disclaimer: I'm not a lawyer, so this is not legal advice. I'm just telling you from being through this system. See, the system honestly is like a trap door. A lot of people, I wrote in my hand. I wrote some notes in my hand. Oh, it's gone because I did the dishes. Shoot. But anyways, the system survives the way it is because of complete oblivion. Most people are oblivious to how the system works, and they need it to be that way so that it can continue to work in a manner that it does, where it snares and tears and gathers up who it gathers up, innocent, guilty, who cares, whatever. We need people there in them prisons. We need it full. We need it to capacity. Yes. Like that's the goal. So it has to be people in oblivion to knowing how the system really works. Okay, and I can't read my second note. Ugh, what that say? Well, I know one of them. I was saying the system is like a trap door. You see it to work one way, and you do not know until you fall through that trap door how the system really and truly works. Because I had made a comment where I guess it was some guy. He was like, "Oh, you crazy people! You don't know he has the right to appeal, so they can't just do this until he gets an appeal. That's your right, your civil rights or whatever." And I'm like, he must don't know. I don't care what illusion of rights you think you have. You can file for an appeal, but they don't have to grant you an appeal. Not everybody gets an appeal. And see, so that's just an instance of something that people think they know how the law works, but they don't really truly know how it works. They know how it should work, but they don't know how it really plays out. So I don't know. I think he'll be all right. Just like I told you, Brittany Griner was going to be all right, good, because the system really is about how much notoriety you have, who you are, and how much money you got, girl. You got enough money to fight it. You could be guilty all day long and you can get off. But the flip side is true. You don't have enough money to fight it. You could be innocent all day long and never get off. That's how our system works. Anyways, I'm going to be hiss your girl Cadillac. Oh yeah, so let me do that little verse real quick. Y'all already know to my first step when I was trying to break my husband's wrongful conviction was I started rapping. I figured if I make one song about my husband being wrongfully convicted, I can get on the underground radio and then he'll be free. But I'm about to run out of time. Shoot. Anyways, it ain't play out at all like that. But anyways, here's a verse that I thought of. If you were if you accused in a crime, you better take the plea. You ain't got no money. You better take the plea. You ain't got a good lawyer. You better take the plea. Hey, take that from me. Take it to trial. This in your Shit's Creek. Take the plea, girl. I'm telling you.